Welcome to Kevin Bennett's Trauma. I wanted to say thank you first and foremost because I know you're busy and it's all love, man, so I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you.
Bless my G, man.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We're in Spain at my restaurant.
Yep. It's amazing, by the way. You got your restaurant here called Nastie's.
Yeah,
Tell everyone a bit about your restaurant firstly.
Yeah, got a Jamaican restaurant in Tenerife. We're in Las Americas called Nastie's. Kev's coming through. Yeah, me tasting the food. Got mum's cooking out here.
I love it. Mum's cooking.
Come on.
Listen, man, you brought mum's cooking into business.
Come
Home
on,
cooking.
Man. I brought some South London over here. So we got it flowing.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, Kev said he's got a documentary thing he's doing about trauma and that. So look, I'm a reason on this thing all I meant is, isn't it?
100%. So right, so first and foremost, the reason why I do this show is because there's a lot of people that are suffering in silence. Yeah? There's people that's grown up from our communities and all over the world, but from our communities as well, that's probably been abused, sometimes psychologically, physically, sexually, whatever it may be. And then there's other people that suffer in silence in the business world as well. So I'm writing a book at the moment about doctors who are pretty much have a high suicide rate because they can't share what they're going through or they may lose their license. So from many different perspectives, I always want to talk to people who are doing well in life, some people that have gone through the struggles and so on and so forth, and just to get their view and opinion on to help build and empower people. So just like from your perspective, you've done amazing things in your life, you've pushed through, and you've come from an environment, we both come from the same environment where it has just been one struggle after another. So the first question I want to ask you, which is I think is a very important question, is how do you deal with stress when stress comes to visit?
I had to come to the terms with you're never going to get rid of stress. Yeah. Stress is something that's never ever going to go away. So you have to learn to moderate stress. And most importantly, I've done my ganja. Yeah, and I praise Jaja.
Hey, and that helps.
Yeah.
That helps. I've
100%.
spoken to so much people. I don't smoke, but for those people who I know that smokes, I see them mellowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weed will just mellow me out, and sometimes it's needed. But without weed and just personal cipher, if I was to say on just a sober beds, yeah, I would say is learning how to prioritize your stress. Now, stress is like a room. There's all different types of stress, all different types in the room you have to tidy up. Depending how you got your structure of tidying up, depending on if the room can be controlled or not. So now, everything in my stress box was not in my control. I leave it there.
And that's a powerful part. I like when you say that because whatever you can't control, let it go.
Of course.
And that's what I've discovered as well in my life, where it's like where I've tried to take on things that I can't control, it's been the defining factor on my health.
Of course.
And so I've learned over time to just try to moderate that and change that overall.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because trying to control things you can't control is 110% mental stress and 10% physical stress. And we think physical stress is the be and end all of stuff, but mental stress is the most. The reason why a lot of people go crazy and a lot of people lose their mind is the overwhelmingness of mental stress, of trying to fix things what's not in their control. So when they're trying to fix things that's not in their control, and every day they're losing sleep about it, it builds up and builds up and starts affecting the body in all different ways. And going through Facebook one time on a random, like your phone sends you weird things. Yeah. And it sent me something about the 10 things what happens to your body when you get stressed.
Yeah.
First thing, it sets off this mad chemical in your brain, or puts a little crust in your brain. It starts affecting your muscles, your kidneys, bare little things. Sleep deprivation, getting your 8 hours of sleep, builds insomnia, bare things. I was like, raw. And the most things will push people over the edge is everything that they can't control. Look at it like driving. You know you're going to put on your seatbelt and you know you're going to check your mirrors before you turn. But you can't vouch for me. You can't vouch if I'm on the phone. You can't vouch if my missus sees something on my phone she's not supposed to and pulls the steering wheel. You can't see if the kid does something in the car he's not supposed to. If I see a spider drop on me and I lean the car. You get what I mean? You have none of these things is in your control. You just hold your vehicles and put the faith in the Most High and keep going forward. You get what I mean? But
and I love what you're saying as well, is you can't control what's happening externally, but wear your seatbelt.
Wear your seatbelt. So from you got your seatbelt on and you give yourself enough time to spot hazards ahead, you get what I mean? Everything becomes more maintainable.
What advice would you give to those who are like the younger generation and they've gone through some form of stress or trauma, but they're not in a position really to share it because their parents may be the ones that are traumatizing them, or their immediate environment, because a lot of people can't escape their immediate environment. How do they deal with it?
Boom. You know, look at it like this. There's two children. One child has had a structured household. Alright, look at it like the best scenario. There's two children. Both single parents. One parent is a very religious Christian, God-fearing parent and structured household. Other parent is a party friend parent, and a non-structured household. You get what I mean? Both of these kids, are gonna grow the way they've been set. What's totally normal to one kid, will be totally not normal to another. You get what I mean? So when you started preaching out of our neighborhoods and mingling with other people, and you told them little things that were supposed to be funny in a conversation, what you thought they would understand and be funny, and look at it, and they went, really? Things like that happen around where you came from?
Exactly.
That was your first
that
inkling of that difference of how two communities have lived in the same world and been so different apart.
Right. So it was our normality, and to them it was so alien.
So you say to a third world child, how have you managed to cope living in a zinc house all your life and walking 10 miles for walk? Because it's all he knows. So the coping mechanism is from birth. No different, like a certain spiders have a different poison to take down bigger prey, because from where they're born they have to have an edge. A normal knife won't work in the fight because the odds is how they were born is against them. Different to a crack baby. A baby's been born and a parent on crack. Do you get what I mean? The DNA structure of how they get into the world is different because it's been forged that way. You get what I mean? Problem is learning how to do different things. And whereas a grandma, we come from a poor generation. So I said this in 2 TV programs. I am a professional at surviving.
Wow, I like that.
I'm a professional at surviving because I've survived all my life.
Tell me what that means.
So, boom. Surviving is living in odds of nothing.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
In the odds of nothing and making something, I am a professional because I've done that all my life. We come from nothing. So survival is key. It's to have something. But hear this though. I'm a level 1 in training in living life.
Wow. That's profound. So you're right, because most of us are in survival mode. And so survival mode...
Living is not surviving.
Exactly. It's just like, okay, I've just stuck my head up above water. I'm going to take a deep breath. I know I'm going back down again. And so you kind of find a way to live in that survival, poking your head up just to get a breather, then you're back underwater again. Where living is now you're on land. You can look down and you see who's surviving, but you can now enjoy the beach. You can now enjoy the stars and the sun.
So, boom, big up my brethren Sugar Tits. Come from a different way of life. every year go on holiday trips, yachts, boats, cruises, the whole shebang.
Sure.
So he says things like, oh, we should just get all the families and just go on icelolly.com and book a holiday. And I'm like, what's icelolly.com? All of this stuff. Music gave me opportunity to live the life what I've lived. My parents couldn't give me this life naturally. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that one holiday to Jamaica, do you get what I mean? What my parents would have to work really hard to save and do.
Yeah, that's a whole year savings.
In survival world to make that happen, I don't have that situation. So I don't really just know about looking at Malta quickly for 2 weeks and booking a flight because I don't know anything about that world. And then if you look at it in a professional tip, every country I've gone to, I go to work. It's everything's on a schedule. I'm picked up from the airport, I do my TV stuff, all of that shit. Chill out at my hotel a bit. You're on stage at 10 o'clock in the night. I'm going to another country the day after, so I have to be at the airport by 6 in the morning. So I didn't really see that country. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I made my money in that country and kept it moving.
Sure.
You get what I mean?
Sure.
So then, boom, when you're at a stage and if you have money and you see loads of people but renting yachts and doing all of these things, my normal main life, that was never an opportunity to me.
Good point. Yeah.
So I don't know how to do that stuff. I'm learning to do that stuff. Do you get what I mean? So then, now, if you said to us now, "Rah, this boat has broke down and we need to get back to England," I can do that. But I don't know how to enjoy the boat doing nothing.
That makes perfect sense. And that's a good point. So let me just ask you a question in relation to that. For so much people who are in survival mode, they would love to be in your situation. What was your self-conversation, your behavior, and your routine that led you from where you were to where you are? Because you are the anomaly from where we're from.
Of course.
What was your self-conversation? Because I know straight away by default, you went through doubt, you went through that level of worry, and you went through people looking and saying, you're not going to make it. What made you get to the next stage where another person who was in your position struggled and probably just didn't go any further?
5 things. First and foremost, the utmost. Jaja. Second, mum and grandma, fasting and prayer.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't hear people normally say that. I love that.
That's standard. I wouldn't be here if my mum and grandma were on the enemies, fam. Boy, them type of fasting and what go down for man to keep man's head back safe, fam, is real.
Yeah.
You get what I mean, fam?
Yeah.
You have to be watched over. You get what I mean?
Wow.
Not just by this physical entity, because by the Most High, fam. You get what I mean? When them and they shine his light on you, fam, I know you have clean heart and intentions, fam. You'll be surprised when certain things come over. Third thing, boom. Definitely having self-belief in what I want to do. Fourth thing, doing what I like to do. I've been so fortunate, I haven't made no hard money in the sense of doing stuff I don't want to do.
Wow.
All my money's been happy money.
Wow. I love that.
Do you get what I mean?
I love that. Happy money.
Of course. Because remember, in any job, before you see money, there has to be times when there's no money. And if those times you don't like doing it, the money's not going to be good.
So true.
Do you get what I mean?
So true.
So if I like busting joke, I like spitting, I like music. So if I'm in the studio making music and I ain't been paid for that, I'm still happy being in the studio having fun. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So when the money comes, it's a bonus.
Wow.
Do you get what I mean?
Wow. And so your world was more about enjoying what you do first, and then the rest came after.
Because remember, anything, be one smart, but not too smart, bruv. Yeah? The world's not stupid. Everyone knows when you're trying to use people for money. Yeah? So if you're trying to sell me something and I see you don't use it, you don't wear it, not on the of you looks of this thing, and your face is all push up, and you just look like you want bread. You think I want to support your thing, fam?
And you're right. So you're talking about being authentic, always being your authentic self.
Of course.
I love
You
that.
can't be authenticity.
I love that. Because I remember in your early videos, when you was cracking jokes and all of that, and it was your laugh. Your laugh was like, your laugh. I remember more than anything, it was your laugh that people always remembered.
And see, that laugh.
And that was your authentic self.
That's me sitting in a car with my brethren busting joke.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? You can't get more pure than that.
Yeah.
Man bunning weed in the car with man's brethren busting joke, no different like man in the barber shop or in the block. That, you know, if there was a hidden camera in the ends of a man that's busting certain joke in the ends and captured that raw essence, bro, that's the TV gold. I was just fortunate I managed to film it.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if we break down the analytics of it, it's a fat guy smoking weed and a Toyota Auris with two of his brethren.
Was that your breaking point? What was that the moment when you where was your kind of that moment when you leaped over into a place of global awareness or awareness to the point where people's like, you got to watch this guy, you got to listen to him, or you got to see him?
I always had it, but I was in hospital for a while. Just as like when my uncle pains like started coming out, yeah, like my first house had mold in it, and the mold got on my left lung, collapsed my left lung.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like one lung for 6 months, I didn't even know. Yeah. Long story short, left man with like a swollen heart. My heart was like the size of a football.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, man's dropped out, boom. Yeah, so they say you got to get all the fluid off my heart and all of this shit. While I'm in hospital, but I did bare filming all of this stuff before I got ill. So while I'm in hospital, all of this stuff's coming out. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But remember, I have two fan bases. I've been doing music since 2002.
Yes. I've seen footage from you as young. Yeah.
And dub.
Yeah.
So I got a strong music fan base, but my personality, because of YouTube at that time, people started to see the personality. Remember, you know, through a CD, you can't hear a man's personality, you just hear a man's lyrics.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So through YouTube and actually talking to a person on the camera, you got to see both sides of a person. Man's musical ability and man's just natural aura self. You get what I mean?
But I think there's a third part to that I've got to add to it, is your journey as well. People seeing your journey. And I think that's what people love more than anything, is seeing someone's journey. The rise, the pains, the ups, the downs,
100%.
The moments of doubt, the moments of certainty.
100%.
All of those areas as well. And as you said, which bonds it all together is being authentic.
100%. Can't go wrong with authenticity. Because authenticity is something you can keep doing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I try to come out as a person who don't smoke and I love the world all day, every 5 minutes, like fuck that. Sometimes I don't like people. I prefer animals than humans. All day, every day.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. So true.
If I promote this, this is how you're supposed to be. You get what I mean? Because at least you know if you see me when the camera's on or the camera's off, it's the same person. You can still make a thingy. But when I walk to the shop now, that might be the first time someone who's followed my journey sees me in flesh, and then he sees me talking about tofu and plant burgers and a whole different things.
For real.
No smoking.
For real. It don't add up.
Don't add up.
Yeah.
Everything I've invested into you, you fat sweat. You just lied to me. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Keep it pure.
Brilliant.
You get what I mean? And that's how you get longevity.
I love
There's
that.
quick money and long money. But slow dough is always better than no dough.
I love that.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. So last question for you, because I know you're busy and I respect your time as well. What advice would you give to people now in two areas? So area number one, people's gone through the pandemic, people's gone through the stresses of it, and a lot of people just giving up. They're giving up. They just don't want to do it anymore. Not that they don't want to do it, but just the fear of everything being taken away from them has broken them. So that's question number one. And question number two, for those who may have got somewhere, but like once again, they're going through their stress and traumas. What advice would you give on both sides?
Boom, yeah. So the people who are scared to go forward, it's very simple. What else can happen? See, the greatest thing about being on your face, yeah? When I mean, I'm not talking like side of your face, I'm talking like full of your face, like bow. Yeah? There's nowhere else to go apart from up. You get what I mean? I would rather be always down fully on the face and go up than be in the middle. Because on the middle, you're not sure if you're going to fall or not.
You're right.
or how deep the fall is.
And it's funny that you say that, because I talk about the successes of people in places like England and other countries. And what I've realised about England, they give you just enough. You know, it could be like benefits and all the rest of it. And so people don't want to lose that. And so if they go for more, they know they may lose their benefits.
Yeah.
And so they stay in the middle. And the middle's very mediocre. Then you've got other people in other countries where they don't have anything. And so they've got no choice. They're like, listen, either I die or I win. There's no in between. And so that's what you're saying, right? Is put yourself in a situation where you have got no choice but to climb, because you've got nothing more to lose.
100%. 100%.
I love that. And it's funny because even like Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, I believe, just went to space, right? Or they went up to the orbit at least anyway. And they put themselves in a situation where they said, listen, this is either going to go really wrong and I die, or I'm going to win. And this now is another conversation, because now I'm seeing Virgin adverts now saying, go to space kind of thing. Like now they can boast on a whole nother level because they've pushed that next boundary. And so what you're saying is, which I agree with, is that put yourself in a situation where you have no choice. Even if you've got a little, pretend it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And then push so hard that you have no choice but to win.
Trust me. And most important thing, yeah, in this world, yeah, whoever told you and lied to you, yeah, you get what you deserve in this world. It's very a lying cunt. Yeah. No one gets what you fucking deserve.
Yeah.
You get what you fucking agree to.
Yeah, what you negotiate, right?
Exactly. No, not even what you negotiate, what you agree to within yourself. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah? You could work 24 hours a day, but if the boss man says he's giving you £200, if you agree to it, you agree to it. Nothing about the 24 hours what you worked. You get what I mean? So man lose the philosophy of what you work, how hard you work is what you're gonna get out. No, it's not. It's what you agree to. And if you have the balls, yeah, to push for the bigger check and push for the bigger dream, play it safe and do the moderate work just to flow and get by, or push for the extreme. Extreme risk, extreme gain.
Extreme rewards, you're right.
Trust me.
You're right. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for your time.
Come on.
Is there anything else that you want people to know? And like, what you got going on?
Don't know. Check bignarstie.com. Get your CBD. Check out my gym, Muscle Base CBD Recovery Gym in Enfield. If you're coming out of time, join the Members Club, BDO Tenerife with some food. Narsties, Big Narstie show next year. More life, more blessings. Bennett, man.
Brilliant. Bro,
42 degrees, you know.
It's hot, yeah, I know.
Come on.
I've got to take this off as well.
Big up.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Nice one.
That was good, though.
Brilliant, bro. Thanks, man.